Is the US really standing up to Russia, or is it letting geopolitical reality slip through its fingers? Today, I want to break down what's happening with Trump's approach to Russia and global diplomacy, and why it matters for both international stability and US credibility, as well as for our pocketbooks. Hey all, welcome to Share Trek, where science meets investments, and I'm your host Raj. There's growing evidence that President Trump isn't taking a firm stance against Russia, even as its aggression in Ukraine continues unabated. Despite the critical situation on the ground, his administration has shown what many analysts call at best as ambivalence, pushing for peace deals that would effectively concede Russian territorial gains while resisting stronger direct sanction on Moscow itself. Instead, Trump has turned to tariffs as a geopolitical tool, but not necessarily against Russia. For example, he imposed a 50% tariffs on Indian imports, partly because India continues to purchase Russian oil, yet Russia and its major backer China remain largely untouched. Most recently, he has advocated that G7 and EU impose 100% tariffs on India and China over similar Russian oil purchases. Essentially, this is weaponizing trade tariffs as a form of secondary sanctions, penalizing countries for their energy choices rather than directly confronting the aggressor. And all the countries that he is asking to impose 100% tariffs on India and China have already been tariffed by Trump. And they don't have a trade deal in their hand as yet. Well, this strategy has created tension with traditional US allies, already irritated by previous tariff policies. Moves like these risk undermining the unified pressure that is needed on Russia and complicate America's diplomatic relationships. And Trump's public statements haven't helped. Recall his description of Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace as a mistake. Well, Polish officials were immediately ready to correct him. They emphasized the seriousness of the breach and the broader threat it poses to NATO allies. Taken together, the actions and words suggest a reluctance, or at least a selective approach to confronting Russia head-on. Even as the conflict intensifies, Trump has not confronted Russia in any meaningful manner so far. At the same time, the administration continues to impose tariff-driven punishments on other countries, regardless of trade balances or existing tariffs, often targeting nations that already face US tariffs of 10% or more, even if that nation has got 0% tariffs on American imports. Meanwhile, Russia remains mostly unaffected. And then there is the Nobel Peace Prize pursuit. Trump has touted his role in ending or pausing 7 wars and has received public nominations from leaders like Israel's Netanyahu and Cambodia's Prime Minister. But the Nobel Committee evaluates nominees independently, prioritizing multilateral achievements and lasting peace. Many experts view these efforts as self-promotional, especially given ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. Amid all of this, economic pressures and geopolitical tensions continue to mount, threats that could escalate into broader crisis, yet President seems preoccupied with theatrics, personal grievances, and social controversies. Distractions reminiscent of the WWE commentary rather than the pressing responsibilities of global leadership. As these fires burn across the globe, the world watches closely. Leadership demands clarity, focus, and a willingness to confront hard realities. And right now, the world may be questioning whether US foreign policy is aligned with the urgency of the moment. And I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think, especially of our viewers in the United States? What do you think about the current situation? Please let me know in the comment section. I value your comments, and it can keep us, the entire community, informed. But friends, if you found this analysis helpful, please consider subscribing and joining Share Trek community if you have not already done so. I'll catch up with you again in the next video, and bye for now.